For the 7th time in the two sides' history, it is Colorado Rapids 2 and North Texas getting ready for action here in Denver, Colorado. Two teams at opposite ends of the spectrum, but played a great game earlier this season and have very good history between the two sides. Good to have you on board with us tonight with our crew here. I'm Michael Watrang, excited to watch how this matchup turns out. North Texas entering the weekend tied for first place in the Western Conference, while Colorado Rapids trying to get out from the bottom of the league table at this point in the season. There's how things look in the West right now. Rapids so dominant last season, had such a high-quality campaign, but they sit right now second from the bottom in the league and have work to do to get to the top. And Eric Boucher speaking on that earlier this week. North Texas on the other side, just one loss this season and getting ready for kickoff here on a Sunday evening in the Rocky Mountains. Good to have you with us as we take a look at the starting 11 for Colorado Rapids. It's a very talented striking crew with Eric Banderay right at the back, the 25-year-old goalkeeper. On the other side for North Texas, and their starting 11 for this evening, Malik Henry Scott gets a start at the top, but Enes Sali has scored in 4 consecutive matches. He's on his left-hand side. And the midseason goalkeeper of the year, Michael Collodi, sits between the pipes here tonight. It's a good night for action here. Brad Jensen is our center referee for this contest. It'll be North Texas out on the road whites this evening, and the gray kits for Colorado Rapids here tonight. One of the 9 matches on this Sunday in MLS Next Pro. Already, the road side have had the upper hand, having won all 3 games that ended in regulation. The 2 home winners so far today needed to do so in penalties this evening. Good to have you on board with us. North Texas riding a 7-match unbeaten string where they've won 6 of those 7. Meanwhile, Colorado Rapids 2 playing at home for the first time in 28 days. How does tonight's matchup come to shape here this evening? We'll watch that as we go through this contest, as North Texas and Colorado Rapids clash for the 8th time. The team that North Texas is trying to pull away from in the Western Conference, St. Louis City, had an off week this week. They're back on the road next week, and then a massive matchup July 27th. North Texas hosts St. Louis City 2 in what seems to be the top 2 teams in the West. But we're ready to go here tonight. Work to be done in the near term. It is Colorado Rapids and North Texas on a fine day here in Denver, Colorado. Good to have you with us for this match. Hope you can come in and stay a while with us. Malik Henry Scott eyes this one. A final check of the watch. And the kick starts off the match. It is Colorado Rapids 2 and North Texas for the 8th time. Well, speaking with Eric Boucher earlier this week, he talked about that they've been through a little bit of long stretches this season at times, and you had 9 days to get ready for this matchup. Said that it had flown by. It's been a physical toll that they have taken, but they've trained well. There has been no such hangover for their group, while Michel Garbini talked about very comfortable with his group situation after John Gall was promoted to the FC Dallas coaching staff on June 11th. He's taken over after coaching 4-0 to a U.S. Open Cup win over Austin FC 2, and has picked up where John Gall left off. And these two sides in very different overall positions as it stands right now, but two sides that have the belief that they can push this thing to the finish line. Eric Boucher echoing that statement it cannot be incrementally better. It has to take large steps forward. There's still time to make a postseason run, but it has to start this evening on this field. Frederick. Bouncing ball wide. A slide tackle out before Strelnauer could get there. Good work by Nico Gordon, the team captain this season. Strelnauer goes down. Gordon commits the foul, despite his pleas that Brett Jensen would keep the whistle quiet. So it will be our very first good attacking opportunity coming here from Colorado Rapids. They've had 8 different goal scorers this season, middle of the pack in terms of goals scored for the campaign. But they have a great opportunity. Sebastian Anderson ready to line this one up. Anderson whips this ball in, and it's controlled very cleanly, ultimately by Michael Collodi, the 23-year-old out of Columbia. And it's a quick counterattack now. Here comes North Texas, wrapping around 2. One defender there, and this pass eventually bleeds off of the leg of Solly and out for a corner kick. What great speed and transitional moment there by the teenager from Toronto. What an excellent maneuver to get over the top. And then this last move to get past Jasper Lafelsen. And ultimately, Sebastian Anderson got the final touch. Quickly taken. Pondeka leaves it back. Into midfield now. And a recycle for North Texas. Collodi settles this one in. No team has lost fewer or as few of the one game that North Texas has lost this year. 4 different teams have lost 3 times. That's the next closest. It has been a team that has been free-flowing since the jump start of the season. Endley splits 2 and eventually runs into a little bit of resistance. North Texas, the stingiest defensive unit. They've given up just 12 goals all year, and only 7 in the first 75 minutes of matches through their first 15 games of the season. Anthony Garcia, and a foul whistle to Sebastian Anderson gets taken out. And one of the 2 games currently going on, LAFC 2 and Ventura County just kicking off as well after the town takes out Sporting KC 2 by a 2-0 tally. And one more match still to go tonight. That's Portland and Real Monarchs getting ready in about 25 minutes. Anderson. All the way around the back it goes now. Nate Jones. Through the middle this ball goes. It takes a ricochet out. Korka leaves it behind. And then Solly gives it right back to where it started. During that 3-match road trip, Eric Boucher talking about maybe it's a positive that there's nothing that immediately sticks out from the road trip, either good or bad. This is dangerous here from Collodi. Unfortunate for him, he gets it away, but Colorado right back on the charge. Not letting this side breathe at all. That's a fine flick, and it leads to a good opportunity that Anthony Garcia finishes. And it's Rapids 2 that gets the opener less than 6 minutes in. That was brilliant. Look at this touch right here. It is perfectly executed by Kamani Stewart-Baines. And his pass sets this stage for Anthony Garcia, who Eric Boucher called a beast when he's confident. That is a flawless team goal. And what a start this one is for Rapids. North Texas concedes early in this one. They have been so stingy this year. 5 fewer goals than any team in the league entering this matchup. The team with the best goal differential in Next Pro this season finds themselves behind by a goal. Well, this happened 2 matches ago to North Texas when they were on the road. Fell behind 1-0 against Real Monarchs after a half hour. It would take a better portion of 30 minutes to get the equalizer, and 15 minutes after that, Isaiah Parker won it in the 78th minute to keep this unbeaten string rolling along. But it sits at a 1-0 margin for Colorado Rapids. A team that has been excellent in the middle chunk of matches. It's their fastest goal of the season. Their next fastest came in the 24th minute, way back on April 7th. And for a side that had scored their last 7 goals in the second half, they get an opener in this one. Garcia eyeing more. And right through the middle, this one goes. Yapi was looming inside of the 6-yard box. A strong start for Rapids too. Bodies colliding. Colodi flies this ball down the park. Well, Rapids have not had a clean sheet this season. A lot of time to protect this 1-goal margin. Speaking with Coach Garbini earlier this week, he talked about looking at the way that the schedule has played out this year. It's not just one way that his team is finding ways to win. They've had the ability to win by a goal, multiples, penalties, etc. The mentality is born out of their sheer competition. If they can compete against themselves, they can succeed when they go against opponents, and that will be put to the test here as they trail by a 1-0. Less than 10 minutes into the match. And here comes the Rapids once more. Yapi was the intended target. Well, this first time that these two teams played this season, Rapids had more shots, 16-10. But it would be a 2-0 win for North Texas. Anderay comes out. 42 saves on the year, but has given up 26 goals. Another long ball. This is Stuart Baines, and the flag's up here for offside. Tenth minute of play. 1-0 Rapids out in front. Anthony Garcia pocketing his 5th goal of the season. Have the Rapids out in front, 1-0 in a battle of 2 sides at opposite ends of the Western Conference table. North Texas tied for 1st in the West. Rapids 2nd from the bottom. And a lot of time to go to tell the remainder of this tale. Henry Scott has that ball jungle up into his boots. Using the wide channels. Comes through the middle. Strelnauer punches it over. Yapi again. Garcia the target. Stuart Baines has it. Stuart Baines gets the right foot. Shovels it right into the backside of Gordon. Stuart Baines, the number 4 overall pick in the most recent Super Draft. Wayne Frederick, who was the number 2 pick, gives it right back to Stuart Baines. dances to the edge, and it's out for a corner, and a chance here for Colorado yet again in the attack. Michelle Garbini talked about that the goalie doesn't need to be the best player on the field when it comes to their defending. It starts with the forwards being up top and holding on to possession. That's how the defense starts. Now, so far, the forward group for North Texas has not seen enough possession. Sebastian Anderson prepares for a corner. In-swinging ball, swiped away by Collodi. Jones watches it trickle out. It's a really good start for the Rapids. In that matchup on April 21st, they outshot North Texas 9-2 in the opening 45. And it was scoreless all the way until the 87th minute. Pedrino scoring a penalty. And then Tyreek Scott adding the clincher in the 10th minute of stoppage time. It's out for another corner kick here for the Rapids, and a really, really strong start for Colorado's side that has dropped back-to-back matches entering this one. Anderson once again. 21-year-old who's appeared in over 20 matches with the first team, swings this ball in, and Yapi gets ahead to it. And this one harmlessly wide left. It's a really good corner. Look at Yapi getting in there. Found a good spot, had a good angle. Just could not put it quite on target. No shots so far. And just 40% of the possession for North Texas. Only Philadelphia Union had a better goal differential entering the weekend play. Ramirez bounces in off of a defender and out. Stuart Baines nearly had the interception. Bodies collide and a foul is whistled. And this time it's Amet Korka, the 23-year-old from Arlington, Texas, that gets whistled. Quickly put back into play as you take another look at this. Right through the body of Yapi. Frederick tries to turn a corner, unable to do so. You'd be surprised to know that Colorado Rapids have taken only 13 points all year with how they have started in the opening quarter hour of this matchup. This part of the match is brought to you by UC Health. With personalized care and locations across Colorado, UC Health is here for you. No matter where your story takes you, UC Health, live extraordinary. Passing has been flawless so far. And Stuart Baines cuts the edge. Beats Pondeka, but cannot get it past Gordon. Dancing around Endley. North Texas under so much anxiety defending. All they can do is play 50-50 balls in the middle, and ultimately, Strelnauer has it again. And Donka. Now Westergrain. North Texas needs a spell of possession. For perhaps the most dominant team in the league to this point, at least in terms of their finishing results. They haven't lost a match in 63 days. You have to go back to May 12th, when the Town won 1-0. That's our scoreline right now, with plenty of time to go in this matchup. Colorado will sit back and defend. Ndanka, Pondeka. Endley chases, gets there just before it gets to the chalk. Endley tethers the ball to the boot. Ramirez, Solly. Looked like he got there in time, and indeed he did not. Rapids this season have given up 35 goals, the second most in the league. 3 different teams have given up 37. They've allowed at least 1 goal in every match this year, all 16. Haven't had a clean sheet since the West final last year. 0-0 against Austin. And they would fall in penalties to the eventual champs. Is today a new day for this side? Might be a better defensive performance. They lead 3-1 in shots and passing the early test here. It's good work all along the sideline by Henry Scott, but better defending ultimately. Lethelsen weaves it back. Jones with choices upfield. Strelnauer unable to weave it through 2 defenders, but does get back to it for a moment. Texas this season has seemed to have an ability to flip a switch. Last week, a decisive performance, 4-0 home win against Minnesota. 4 different goal scorers in that match. Meanwhile, the Rapids have been maybe a little bit snake bitten this season with the way that they have played. And Eric Boucher was very open and honest about how he would prepare for this match. Certainly there would be a little bit of scouting with the way that the 2 sides played earlier this season. And they met back on April 21st. But understood that things can certainly be different as you go throughout the year. If they feel like things haven't changed much, maybe they don't change the game plan, but there's more value on the recent games that North Texas has played, and it has been quite the run for North Texas. North Texas had rattled off 3 consecutive road wins in which they'd outscored opponents 9-1. Has not been the case so far. Here in the 20th minute, Anthony Garcia's goal in the 6th minute is the difference at this stage. 20th minute of play, Rapids 1, North Texas 0. Michael Wattrang and our Apple TV team watching this game with you. Good to have you on board. Oh, shove in the back is a foul and a stoppage, and a Rapids free kick. This time of the year, fascinating in Next Pro, because you have a lot of players that just finished up their academy seasons, and you start to see a little bit more integration of those younger players into Next Pro, getting them ready for the next stages of their career. Will they be ready for a contract in 2025? Or will they need more time within their academy days to get prepared for this professional level? Things always changing within the player pathway between these two programs, as well as throughout the rest of the league. Two players selected to the MLS Next All-Star game from Colorado. Reserve keeper tonight, Zachary Campagnolo, as well as Miguel Alvarado will be in that game in Columbus in just about 10 days or so. And the player progression and pathway has been on full display in Colorado. 14% of the minutes this year coming from academy players. Nate Strelnauer leads the way in assists. And from the academy to next pro, the pathway is fruitful right now in Colorado. They lead at 1-0. Here's a good breakaway. Ramirez glides it out wide. Into the middle. Henry Scott has his shot blocked. That's a timely stop by Nate Jones on the first real good chance for North Texas. Maybe the pressure starting to amplify. Nate Jones has grown so much in his performance. Between him and Joshua Blues, those two players, former college stars in their early 20s. Here's a long distance ball. Colodi catches it, but it'll be brought back. And that relationship between the two central defenders, a big reason why Colorado can be confident that they can at least put themselves in the mix. Scanning over the schedule right now, there's a lot of time left. Almost 3 full months to go. Pondeka was shown a yellow card. So that's the first booking of the match. Colorado, another chance to go after it. Here's Korka. Korka flies it in. Strelnauer's shot gets blocked away. This part of the match is brought to you by King Soopers. Hometown grocer, hometown team. A chance in another corner for Colorado. They've been creative to start off this match. They've only won once at home all season long. Trying to change that here this evening. And before anything even happens, we see a body down inside of the box. And Brad Jensen will want to have a conversation and bring Joshua Blues over. So after the lecture, here's this corner. In-swinging ball. Again, Colodi knocks it away. Shot, though, on the rebound. Ricochets. No, it does not. It was Nate Jones that was lining it up. Yet again, Colodi comes out, gets a piece of it. Nate Jones does well to knock it down. How does that ball get all the way through without touching anybody? When these teams met back in April, North Texas only had 2 shots in the first half. It is a very similar script being followed here tonight. Yapi waits, weaves, snares. Unable to get enough on it to get it over to Stuart Baines. Endley. Henry Scott. It's good work here by Gordon. Holding on to it. Seeming to have that ball velcroed to his boots. It's a lengthy run now. Solly. Where does he end up going? Ultimately to nobody. Everybody was overlapping on that left-hand side, and the late runners weren't there in time. Flag goes up here. A tad late for offside. Nico Gordon. Retreats and resettles. Shots in at 4-1 right now. North Texas starting to get a little bit more possession, but they give it away here. Felsen, he goes down. There's no foul, despite calls for them. Solly turns the corner. And his pass again eludes Henry Scott. Ramirez chases after Frederick. Last week against Minnesota, Michelle Garbini talked about how they possessed the ball. They dominated the game from the first minute to the last minute. Over 650 passes. Less chances for an opponent to hurt you. And the biggest goal that he had for his team tonight was if they did concede possession, can they win it back quickly? Well, it does feel like things are starting to shift in their direction in that area. But Colorado has still been the better side here in the 29th minute, leading at 1-0. Solly. He chases after it. Now Solly again. Can something open up here for North Texas? The answer, no. Well defended. And Felsen wanders out of there with it. Former third-round pick by Real Salt Lake. That pass doesn't connect, and Mendonca. Ramirez.
Seats, my friend.
This is a good ball on the return pass.
Yeah, we don't
and an even better slide tackle. Anthony Garcia retreats. And Tyshawn Rose has the ball shuffled out. 30th minute of play. 1-0 Rapids leads North Texas in the 8th meeting between the two sides. Rapids trail 3 wins for North Texas. 2 wins for the Rapids and 2 draws in the first 7. Anthony Garcia's 5th goal of the season in the 6th minute, the difference. Michael Watring and our team watching this game with you here on MLSNextPro.com. Good to have you with us. Frederick. He's had a strong game in the midfield. And it's been a strong performance to start off this contest. For Colorado Rapids, they've been more potent. They've handled possession. They've been more accurate in passing. And their heart rate has never risen at any point. Flank staying down for the time being. Yapi is in. Darren Yapi is denied by Colodi. The flank stayed down the entirety of the way. And Yapi could not finish. Circle that moment. Colodi with a huge save. Now Now it's a long ball. Ramirez. Once again, it is Frederick handling the defensive work. Anthony Ramirez. Pockets a pass over. Endely. Colorado inches away from tacking onto this margin. Sully, who's been all over the park, unable to get to it. Now a giveaway. Excellent maneuver there by Westergrain. It's been a balanced North Texas team all season long. One of the 9 teams in the league with at least 30 goals scored. 11 different players have scored their 30 goals. Yapi takes this ball away. Rapids would love a second before halftime. Yapi nearly delivered that minutes ago. He's down behind the play. Ramirez coasts forward. Waiting for some reinforcements now. Ramirez. It's the run from Rose that leaves space on the left side. Solly eventually runs into a little bit of trouble. Sebastian Anderson takes it away. Ball stays in play, and then a foul is committed after the fact. Here it is again with the flag staying down. Yapi well timed, and then just really didn't know what to do. And just could not beat Colodi. This part of the match is brought to you by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. 34th minute. And it looks like we're going to get a booking. At least that's what it looks like for the moment. Jensen has taken it out of his pocket. And he gives it to Ahmet Korka, the second-year North Texas player. So he joins Pondeka in the books. Two teams have scored multiple goals against North Texas this season. Rapids looking to add to that ledger. Endely working it around the back. Long ball sent down the park. Solly is over there. Rose is continuing his run. Tyshawn Rose waits for choices. Rose shoots it in a tight window. Punched away, bicycled out. Van Ray handles the opening moment. And then the defense clears the scenario. My Amadou. Rose again back on the prowl. Ramirez. Ramirez shoots high. All starts with Rose on the far side. He's back on it. As you see here, pushing that ball right into the body of Bandray. Rose on it on 2 different occasions. Once he shot, once he passed. So 2 good chances for North Texas. After 6 of the first 7 shots belong to Colorado Rapids, finally 1 in the books for North Texas. Yapi. That ball takes an awkward bounce, and it's Strelnauer that's the benefactor. Strelnauer's shot pushed away by the legs of Colodi. The 16-year-old from Las Vegas found himself in a dangerous area and nearly tied up Colodi. Another save, his second of the match already here in this contest. He's rung the bell now twice in the last 5 minutes to keep it at a 1-goal margin. Things opening up now, becoming offensive. Felsen. Here's Nate Jones. Right through the middle. Excellent pass. Abadu's tossed through the middle. Pilford. And now Solly. He's been so good in space. It's Henry Scott that sees the flag up. Bringing that back. It's been an enjoyable match to watch so far, and a fine night in Denver, as most nights are here in Colorado. The road team, the upper hand on this Sunday. In regulation, 3 of the 4 wins in regulation have come from the home side, or the road side. The Town, the only team to hold serve at home in regulation so far. 2-0 winners over Sporting Kansas City. Yesterday it was Carolina taking out Crown Legacy as the flag up here again. Yapi is off. Well, one of these teams sitting in the bottom portions of the table make a real charge up the table. And when you look at Colorado, you can think all you want about the playoffs, but it really has to be a 1 match at a time proposition. They sit as it stands right now. If everything goes their way, including a win here tonight, they would be 12th in the West at 16 points. That would leave them 8 points, if I could figure out the math, away from a playoff berth. And 5 teams in their way to get to that point. So really it comes down to how many games can you get the full complement of 3 points. That can help your cause in a hurry to at least put yourself in the picture of a postseason berth. And I think that the goal has to be, can you be within a 2 to 4 points by that mid-September range with about 4 to 5 matches to go. And if you can do that, you can open the door for an opportunity at returning to the postseason for a team that fell in the Western Conference Final last year to the eventual champion, Austin. Free kick here for the Rapids. Looped into the 18. It takes a couple bounces before Nate Jones tracks onto it, and his cross disappoints. 40th minute, Colorado 1, North Texas 0. It's the longest that North Texas have trailed in quite a while. Going on 34 minutes of being behind on the scoreboard. The last time that happened was, you have to go way back, the match that they lost this year to the Town. They didn't concede until the 84th minute. This cross gets bounced away. The longest they trailed in a single match, you have to go back to April 6th. Gave up a goal in the 30th minute, didn't equalize until stoppage time in the 90th minute, despite being down a man at halftime. Earning a draw and then the extra point at home against the Town. Cross comes in off of the corner, nodded away by Westergrain. Colodi's coming out. He only gets a right paw to it, and he's fortunate that a white jersey is there to control. Everybody for Colorado is forward, and it is well handled by Sebastian Anderson. And they could have been easily exposed there. Nico Gordon steps in. Endley reroutes. North Texas buying an equalizer here to change the plot just a little bit here before halftime. Colorado prospered early. North Texas hoping to find a turning point. And instead it's Yapi. Yapi trying to ensure that everybody's onside this time around. Spins. Endley comes back and over. And a whistle and a foul and a booking. And a dangerous set piece forthcoming from Colorado. Here it is again. Yapi does so well in a tight window against Gordon. And eventually Endley comes over and just doesn't get any of the ball in the end. He's the third North Texas player to go into the books here in the opening 45. And this will be a chance perhaps to design something special for Colorado. Sebastian Anderson wants this. Hasn't scored in 2 years. The 21-year-old from Sacramento has sights set on just one thing right now, with 3 men in the wall. Sebastian Anderson off of the top of the wall, and it's the length and strength in the middle. I think it was Emet Korkut that got the piece of it.
Number 5, Nico Gordon in the 42nd minute.
Corner kick quickly taken. All the way back it goes. LaFelsen, back post. Jones the intended target after two players fell over. And it goes out in the end harmlessly for a goal kick. Does North Texas have any kind of response at this juncture? Or do we go into halftime with Colorado holding a 1-0 edge? And according to us expected goals, it's been Rapids in full control. 1.41 to 0.23 in XG. 8 shots to 3 in favor of Rapids. It's hard to say that any match in MLS Next Pro is an upset. But with the form that North Texas had been in, the consistency, the continuity that this group has been flying through, a surprising result at this point. North Texas had outscored their foes by 14 during their 7-match unbeaten streak. And conceded 6 total goals in that stretch. 20-6 the differential. But right now, with 1 minute of stoppage time in the first half, they trail by 1-0. Solly has been so good. Here's Endley. Endley lines. Ping-ponging around. Cleared away. North Texas trying to amplify a little bit of something here in this final window. Endley, 22-year-old out of Indiana, leaves this ball in. Henry Scott was chasing after it, but taking no chances is Ethan Bandray, the 25-year-old keeper, who spent the last 2 years in Kansas City. And Ray spins it out to midfield. Endley. It's his advancement. Endley on the overlap. Endley flies it across. Henry Scott unable to get there in time. And there is the first half whistle here in Denver. And it is Colorado Rapids 2 leading it by a 1-0 tally at halftime. Coming up, Michelle checks in from Los Angeles as Colorado leads 1-0 against North Texas at halftime.
Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Puerta. Al frente. Servicio.
It's saved by Colorado. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área le pega. Golazo. Externa para definir Chicho.
Here we go again, taking to the streets. Here we go again, marching to our own beat. If we start to lose the rhythm in our feet, we just pick it up again, pick it up again, pick it up again. We do it in style, we can move any way we wanna move in style. We can do anything we wanna do in style. Vamos, dale pues, mamá ya, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, con la mano en la cabeza, sacúdete, sacúdete, mira, sacúdete.
Colorado leads 1-0 at halftime against North Texas here on a fine night in Denver. Michelle Montaigne looks back at last week's action and reports on the youth movement in MLS soccer from LA in this week's report.
Mirez! Oh, it's a ripper! Oh, long range, and what a bullet!
Coming to you from the entertainment capital of the world, we present to you the latest episode of The Report. I'm Michelle Montaigne. Over halfway through the season, and the youth movement continues to gain momentum. The youngsters, they keep stepping up, further fulfilling the mission of MLS Next Pro, and that is nowhere more evident than on the other side of the country in Philadelphia. Union 2's Kevin Sullivan notched his first professional goal, and oh my gosh, the way he did it, finding the end of a pass from Frankie Westfield. The 14-year-old dribbled past several defenders before his strike sailed into the back right corner, making him the second youngest player to score a goal in MLS Next Pro history. In just his fourth start with Union 2, he managed the first of what we think are many more major milestones to come.
Obviously, I'm pretty happy. I believe that there was a few chances I've had in other games before that, so that always is in my mind that it should happen earlier. But it is a nice feeling to win on the road and score the winning goal with the boys, and long bus right back, but it was a fun one.
Now, we mentioned Sullivan is the second youngest goal scorer in league history. He trails only Axel Kai, who scored for Real Monarchs on June 12, 2022 versus Colorado Rapids 2 at the age of 14 years and 162 days. Joining Sullivan and Kai on that list are Julian Hall and Mbasha Berchimus, who were also under 16 years of age when they scored their first. Sullivan's major milestone not only caught our attention, but that of the 360 crew.
In MLS Next Pro play, you had Philadelphia's second team taking on the New England Revolution second team earlier today. Guess who scored the match winner for his first ever professional goal? Kevin Sullivan. This was the match winner. It ended up being a 2-1 scoreline up in New England. This is the second goal, and it's a beauty from the 14-year-old.
Look at that, close control. Drives into the box. Weaker right foot finish. Good goal, man.
Clever little movement off the ball and then close control inside the box.
And Jim Curtin suggested that we could see Kevin Sullivan very soon with the first team.
Take your time, Jim. Let him breathe. Let him cook.
You think so?
Yeah. I think he's a brilliant player, but I just think they don't need to rush it.
Okay, fair enough.
Another youngster making a name for himself, Crown Legacy's Aaron John. Fresh off of his Rising Star of the Month recognition, John notched the game winner for Crown Legacy in the 77th minute over interdivision foe CFC. After contributing 5 goals in June, his 7th goal of the season shows he's wasting no time at the outset of July.
First of all, it was a very tough match. It was kind of an ugly game, but yeah, I'm just excited that we were able to get the 3 points and that I was able to help the team in that way. So,
One-upping those two was Red Bulls 2's Julian Hall, who scored 2 in Red Bulls' 6-2 win over Atlanta United 2. The brace was the first of the 16-year-old season, and it came just a couple weeks after Hall scored his first Major League Soccer goal. Post-game, he explained how he's been able to be so clinical around the box.
It was a good feeling to get those 2 goals. You know, the first one I just felt to take it early, and you know it worked out for me. And the second one, it was a good ball from my teammate Mina, and I just put it away. You know, could have got more, but it was a good feeling to get the win tonight.
Also notching a brace this weekend, St. Louis City 2's Makai Joyner. He also participated in the other 2 goals coming in the 4-3 win over LAFC 2. The 2 goals made for his first ever professional brace and brings his goal total on the season to 9. Following the career day, Joyner shared his joy with us.
I felt very excited. Me and my teammates, we worked really hard to get this win. A few guys that are originally with the second team actually moved up, so we had to work together, and we did really good actually. So we just keep pushing, and we got the 3 points we needed. Felt really good to get 2 goals. I didn't even draw the PKs, but my teammate Brendan did, and he was nice enough to let me take them, get my first brace. So I want to thank him as well. Thank the coaches for believing in me to take the PKs. So yeah, it felt really great.
The firsts continue with Ventura County FC's Gabriel Arnold scoring his first MLS Next Pro goal in a shootout win over Dynamo Dos. In just his 3rd start with VCFC, and only weeks after winning the MLS Next Cup with the U17s, Arnold continues his hot streak at the pro level. And with the nickname Gabby Goal, we can only expect more to come from the 17-year-old.
I mean, it's a great feeling. I wouldn't want to do it in another place with all these beautiful fans. Every day they come out here and support, so it's just a great feeling, but also happy to get the 2 points at home.
Now, we mentioned Union 2 is doing well in young player development, but so is VCFC. Arnold led the charge for the academy players who took the field versus Dynamo Dos. Joining him were Riley Delgado, Emiliano Garcia, Javier Corona, and Victor Casillas, who all saw action. The LA Coliseum has hosted 2 Olympic Games thus far, first in 1932 and most recently in 1984. It'll also host the 2028 Olympic Games, but until then, we must watch from Paris, France for this year's games. Team USA just announced their men's soccer roster. It features 5 MLS Next Pro alumni, headlined by our very own former Capybara, Patrick Schulte. Joining the inaugural goalkeeper of the year is Inter Miami 2's Benjamin Kramashi, who's become a regular teammate of Lionel Messi. 3 of the roster's 15 players spent time playing with Union 2. Forward Paxton Aronson, midfielder Jack McGlynn, and defender Nathan Harry will show you just how well-rounded the Philly-based system is. Here's a look at some of the alumni's appearances from their playing days at MLS Next Pro. In 15 starts, Schulte managed 7 clean sheets while only allowing 15 goals against en route to helping Crew 2 win the inaugural MLS Next Pro Cup. Kramashi, meanwhile, notched 5 goals in his first season alone. Union 2 got the advantage of having 3 upcoming superstars on their roster. From the rings in the Coliseum to the stars in gold here on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, our players are working to become the stars of tomorrow. Good way to jumpstart that journey is by leading the Golden Boot race. Pareba scored his 11th goal of the season in the 50th minute against Inter Miami 2. The captain with the perfectly timed header gave his side the lead for the time being. He was accompanied on the score sheet by teammate, midfielder, and Golden Boot race contender Harold Osorio. Osorio actually opened the match's scoring, and after the guys walked away with the shootout win, Pareba only had one thing on his mind.
I mean, we were, tied 1-1, and then Luca Perpo played a nice ball from, the corner, and I just got my head on it and scored, so yeah, I guess I'm leading the league in goals, but at the end of the day, that's not my priority. My priority is for the team to win as many games as possible and for us to eventually get to first place. So.
All right, so here's a look at the full standings. Pareba leading the way, Osorio right behind him in a tie for second with 9 goals on the season, tied with Mackay Joyner. Behind them is a 5-way tie of players with 8 goals on the season so far. That sits between Beto Avila, Eddie Davis, Roald Mitchell, Patrick Weah, and Taylor Calera. And finally, we wrap up with our MLS Next Pro moment from the Griffith Observatory, a place that has witnessed countless memorable cinematic moments. And just like the movies, sports is filled with joy, drama, and sometimes agony. Unfortunately, that was the case for Isaiah Parker when he suffered an injury during North Texas SC's match. But the moment came after he exited. Parker's teammates went on to score 3 more unanswered goals. And following the 4th and final goal, courtesy of Enes Saleh, he dedicated it to Parker. Holding up the defender's jersey, Saleh and the team celebrated by showing their solidarity and support for Isaiah Parker's recovery. Well, that'll do it for this episode of The Report. The next time we see you will be when all the stars are together in Columbus for All-Star Week. Until then, I'm Michelle Montaigne saying so long from La La Land.
Vamos, dale pues, vamos allá, muévete más loco como solo tú lo sabes. Así es, pon la mano en la cabeza, sacúdete, 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 mira, sacúdete.
Really sweet. Ahí está el centro. Gol. Maxi Mesa para pegarle. Maxi le pegó. Huerta al frente. Servicio.
It's saved by Colin. Con autoridad el centro. A la izquierda en las afueras del área le pega el golazo. Parte externa va a definir Chicho.
Welcome back to Denver, where it is Colorado out in front by a 1-0 margin here at halftime between Rapids 2 and North Texas as we take a look at the halftime highlights from this matchup. And it was a quick, electric start for Colorado. An early chance here. Yapi set the stage. Anthony Garcia finishes for his 5th goal of the season and first since he had a brace on June 23rd against Houston. Moments after that, it would be just an onslaught from Colorado on a variety of chances. Here was Nate Jones shuffling this ball just wide. There would be some late chances, and it would be Tyshawn Rose that would set the stage on multiple occasions. Here, his shot gets saved. And then here, Rose picked out Anthony Ramirez. He hits this ball too high. There would be another great chance for Yapi, sprinting in behind everybody moments after that. His shot, though, saved by Collodi. And then Rapids with another good opportunity. This ricochet comes to Strelnauer. Strelnauer puts it right into the legs of Collodi, who makes a clean and crisp save. And that's where we sit right now at halftime. Shots are 8-3 in favor of Colorado. They've been the more dangerous side. They've been a side that has been playing extremely confident here in this matchup so far. And the score sits at 1-0 in favor of Colorado. North Texas trails by this margin at halftime. As you take a look at some scores from around the rest of the league. Mentioned Carolina yesterday, upending Crown Legacy, getting a late winner in that matchup, a 76th minute goal in that one. Philadelphia continues to stay hot as well. And then plenty of action throughout the midweek core. And Chattanooga kick things off on Wednesday in MLS Next Pro play. Getting ready to start off the second half. Colorado's making 3 changes. Marlon Vargas is coming in, or check that, 4 changes. Marlon Vargas is coming in, as well as Steve Flores. Alec Diaz is in as well here for Colorado, as they make 4 changes. Taking a seat on the bench, Yapi, Lafelson, Frederick, and Stuart Baines. Michael Watchring with you here in Denver as we watch this matchup. And it is a terrific start for Colorado, but now 4 changes. Let's see how the second half comes to play. Wide shift all the way across the park. And it trickles out before Endley can latch onto it.
Attention for substitutions at the half. Entering the game, number 39, Marlon Vargas. Number 53, Steve Flores. Number 42, Ricardo Pena.
Ricardo Pena is the other man that comes in.
Leading the game, number 27, Ronnie
4 changes for Eric Boucher at halftime.
Number 21, Casper Waddle. And number 77, Aaron Yapi.
Does that change anything here in this second half? Does it do anything to favor North Texas in half number 2? 4 halftime changes for Colorado, none for North Texas. And a foul whistle. Setting up North Texas with a fine chance. Michelle Garbini picks up a yellow card after arguing that last call. So he goes in the books. It's been a frustrating start to this one for North Texas. This year they trail at halftime for the 4th time this season. A win and 2 draws in their first 3 tries when trailing at the break. Along this right-hand side, Strelnauer, Pena, Flores, bouncing around off the body. It's Vargas that had it for just a moment. And here comes North Texas, sprinting away from the pack, trying to get something going here. A team that sits at 5-1-1 on the road in 2024. Second most road wins to Philly, 2. And they've outscored opponents on the road this season 16-4, including tonight. The Rapids haven't had a clean sheet all season. Some of these storylines come to a close here tonight. Anderson. And Bandray swings it out to the middle of the field. A foul whistle. With Copa America wrapping up this evening, the tip of the cap to Jason Russell Rowe, the first MLS Next Pro alumni to take the field when he was substituted in the opening match for Canada. Omar Valencia became the first active MLS Next Pro player to play in the tournament, subbing in for Panama against Colombia in the quarterfinal round, and Colombia and Argentina still scoreless in South Florida. Along this left-hand side, Solly was quite the impact player at the beginning. Henry Scott did well to touch that ball wide. Jockeys for position, Belouz. And ultimately, Belouz draws the foul. The physical play there. Josh Belouz, such a good, strong, sturdy frame as one of the central defenders for Colorado. Another look at it. Belouz utilizing that frame. Well, with one tournament coming to a close in Copa America, the Canadian Championship semifinals, the next thing on our view with Vancouver and Toronto playing in those tournaments. Opportunities to see MLS Next Pro players in that area. And last week was a great goal, or a great weekend for goals for MLS Next Pro alumni. Nato Valenzuela scored the 6th goal of FC Cincinnati's throttling of Inter Miami. It was his first career MLS goal. Had 3 goals in Next Pro play this season in 2 appearances with FC Cincy 2. Mo Farsi of Columbus appeared on the score sheet as well. The 3rd goal of a 4-0 win for the Crew over Toronto. Diego Luna of RSL scored once more for RSL on a 5-2 win over Atlanta United. 2nd goal in as many matches for him. 17 goal contributions for RSL, 5 goals and a dozen assists. And then John Klein of St. Louis City combined forces with Jaden Reed. Here's a long distance shot. Ramirez has it bounced away. And a 4-1 win for St. Louis over Colorado Rapids. First career MLS goal for Klein, 2nd career assist for Reed. And now Ramirez heads to the corner flag. Here at Sibber Field on the University of Denver campus. Anthony Ramirez, the Dallas native, swings this ball all the way to the back post, wanting a handball, saying that it hit the shoulder as Brad Jensen after Nico Gordon pleaded. Holding down this North Texas side has been a nearly impossible task this season. They scored at least 4 goals in every 15-minute window that you can find. And they've been great in the second half all year. That's also when they've been most susceptible of giving up goals. They've given up 5 of their 12 goals in the final quarter hour of matches. They've also scored 8 times in the final 15 minutes. So if trends continue, you're going to want to hang with us for the final 40 minutes of this matchup, with the Rapids leading at 1-0. Diaz fouls. Pondeka. in the El Tráfico. And his goals from Diaz of Ventura County and Sullivan of LAFC 2 on a 1-1 score line in the 54th minute. Real Monarchs has opened up a 1-0 lead. Barker John's 20th minute goal. As Monarchs leading Portland 1-0. And this match, likewise, a goal to none. There's a foul whistle. It looks like it'll be a booking as well. So Colorado will see its first man booked in this matchup. Steve Flores, the halftime sub, goes in the books. Here it is again. Flores comes in late. So a free kick here for North Texas. It's going to be 4 men in the wall. And Tomas Pondeca, who attended the North Texas tryout in 2023, was invited to preseason training, and became the 5th trialist to join the squad since 2019. Right into the blockade right in front of him. A second go at it now. Into the 18, bodies collide. Pondeca was the man that fell down, but no foul whistled, and it's out for a goal kick. Ethan Bandray began his collegiate journey at Pacific before winding up at Northwestern. Pitching a clean sheet, the elusive thing for Colorado this season. Pondeca splits one, stumbles as he's fouled by Marlon Vargas. And right back into play quickly. Solly sprints to the middle of the park. Strelnauer. Vargas, too hefty on it, gives it away. In tight windows, Westergrain gives it away. Now a long shot from distance. Really good touch by Colodi, the goalkeeper, showing off his talent. Mendoca. Now a reset here for Colorado. A team that has lost back-to-back matches off to such a rough start to the season. 7 consecutive winless after an opening season win over St. Louis. And 6 of those 7 were flat-out losses. One was a draw in which they also lost the penalty shootout. Just haven't been able to right the ship at any point. Flag staying down. Colorado looking for a second now. Backpedaling it, Vargas touches it over. Diaz shot, cleared away. What a ball this is. It's great runs across the board. And Diaz puts it right into the waiting paws of Colodi. Another good breakaway. Second time in which the Rapids have had a chance to add to the margin. Haven't been successful yet. Sebastian Anderson readies with a corner kick. Anderson boomerangs this ball. First pass headed away. Anderson gets to the second one. Bicycle kick. Not bad in the end. Why not give it a go? From Nauda Amadou, the team captain, 21-year-old from Cameroon. It's a good turn here. Pondeca, former futsal star for the United States, leaves it to the wide side. Endely Trotting all the way over, and it's cleared away. Steve Flores gets it. And we're going to get a booking as well for a play that happened back in the middle of the park. Anthony Garcia picks this one up. There it was. You can see Brad Jensen mention it. And Anthony Garcia, who scored the lone goal in this match in the 6th minute, goes in the books here in the 59th. And North Texas settles into another corner kick chance. Very much a similar feel to the first meeting, when it took 87 minutes for North Texas to knock the door down. Ramirez plays it short to Endley, and that puts an end to that moment. And they'll have to do it in the run of play instead of off of a set piece that they had drawn up. Endley. Mendonca. Endley. Corca out of play. The clock just ticks past the 1 hour mark. Colorado Rapids 1, North Texas 0. Anthony Garcia scoring in the 6th minute is the difference in the 8th all-time meeting between these two clubs. Michael Watring and our Apple TV team watching this game with you. Delighted to have you on board. All the way around this ball goes. Solly. Everybody retreats, meaning Solly can get the engine revving. 3 defenders eye him. Henry Scott. Wide Rose. Tyshawn to the back post. Ultimately, Endley retreats all the way to the corner. Endley with it. Endley shoots! And it goes wide. So we're going to get a change for each side now. Miguel Alvarado, one of the 2 MLS Next All-Star selections for Colorado, is coming in. He's replacing Sebastian Anderson. And Abdul Zaneh, who start in the DC United and Loudoun United sides the last couple of years, comes onto the field replacing Tyshawn Rose, who had his finger on the pulse of some of these good moments for North Texas. This part of the match is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And North Texas gets something in the attack now. Their defense will be questioned here. Vargas reads the play well, but a little bit of a slippage on a wet piece of turf. And a foul whistled. Endley and Pondeca combining defensively, and it's a foul. Pondeca down. This part of the match is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Score great taste with Coke Zero Sugar. Texas in a very unfamiliar spot. Trailing 1-0. A team that has been a front runner since the year started. They could have been atop the Western Conference table with so much as a draw tonight. Trailing by a goal. That's a sloppy play, and it is taken away. Vargas stumbles. That left side of the 18, a little bit slick, and putting an end to that sequence that looked promising. Instead, it's the visitors back on the front foot. Zane. Still just 21 years old, Zane. That's a good maneuver there by Henry Scott, but Blues and Bandray swings it to midfield. Zane, you can see the wheels that he possesses, full of energy. Right at the end of the first half, Portland equalizes on a Josh Penn penalty kick in the 44th minute. So that match tied at 1 apiece, as is Ventura County and LAFC. Is that foreshadowing what we're in line for here in the final 25 minutes? Ramirez gives it away. Under duress. A giveaway, and then that was a terrific run from Strelnauer. Will certainly want that back after Vargas lined it up for him. Here it is again. Right through the middle of the park. Vargas right into the stead of Strelnauer and just couldn't get it right in the end. Body running in one direction, needing to cut it back in another. Solly the intended target. No troubles here for Stevie Flores. Excellent speed and space on that side. Anthony Garcia with options. Garcia in. It's a flick that goes high. Alec Diaz making the run. Here it is again. Nobody on that side of the park, as North Texas have invested into getting men forward. And then it is Alec Garcia, or Alec Diaz, who Eric Boucher said has been a big part of their best attacking moments of late, and that showcases that skill set. Well, certainly for Colorado, you don't want to count your eggs before they hatch, but stringing together wins is going to be critical for this team to try to make a push into the postseason. Can it start tonight here on the home field, where they've won just once this year? Solly goes down, and it is a foul. Ricardo Pena, not only will it be a whistle, it'll be a booking as well for another halftime sub. The third man of the half for Rapids to pick up a booking in the second halftime change. Ricardo Pena debuted for Costa Rica at the 2023 Gold Cup. And Eric Boucher lauded as being almost unrecognizable from February to July with his growth. You would think that this might be a little bit out of range for a shot attempt, but that certainly hasn't stopped ambition in the past. Tomas Pondeca. Tucson, Arizona native. Studies his choices. Pondeka all the way in. It takes a redirect from Henry Scott, and it's Bandray that puts an end to that delightful set piece. This was brilliant. Ultimately, you can see Scott get a redirect, almost like what you would do in hockey. Pondeka and then Henry Scott. And you have to credit Bandray not only for getting to that initial ball, but holding on to it with strength, despite Henry Scott being right in the picture. So a foul in the end. Frustration as Bandray will get a swing. Speaking with Michel Garbini earlier this week, one of the biggest themes that he had within his group is that it has to be a competitive practice. It has to mean that these players are competing for spots on a match in and match night basis. And it will be two changes coming right here in the 70th minute. Turner Humphrey and Daniel Baran come in. Mendonca and Sali come out. Sali, you could argue, is one of the best players on the field. And certainly for North Texas, and the 18-year-old will see his 4-match goal string come to an end. This part of the match brought to you by AAA. Expect something more. So 2 changes for Garbini. With 20 minutes to go in this one, plus stoppage time. The advantage continues to sit with the Rapids out in front 1-0. Anthony Garcia's goal in the 6th minute is the difference. His 5th of the season. Have the Rapids out in front 1-0 against a North Texas team that came in tied for first in the West. Rapids second from the bottom in the West. Michael Watring and our Apple TV broadcast team with you. Good to have you on board for this matchup. How will this one come to a close here tonight? And can this North Texas side continue its 7-match unbeaten streak? 4 teams have lost 3 matches. Only 1 has lost fewer, and that's North Texas. 9 wins, 1 loss, 5 draws, and they've won 4 of those 5 penalty shootouts. A team that had outscored foes by 14 goals during this 7-match string. On the wrong side of the tally sheet right now against the Rapids team that has yet to book a shutout so far this season. On the overlap, Baran cuts it back. Baran has it taken off of his feet. Cleared only as far as Humphrey. And then Pondeka gives it right back. Strelnauer. A juggle, a bobble, and a slicing ball into a wide bit of real estate. Vargas leaves it backwards, and this pass, too much on it. Amadou winds it out. North Texas had rattled off 3 consecutive wins on the road in dominant fashion. They conceded first in their last road win before scoring late in that match twice to win it in regulation. Well, you have to credit what Colorado have done in this one. An expected goals of 2, versus 0.55 for North Texas. They've been a dangerous side. They've prospered much of the day. Colorado cannot believe that that was not a foul. Instead, allowing advantage to go in the opposite direction. Schraunauer. Vargas splits the back line. It's a chance for a second, and it's finished cleanly. Anthony Garcia with a brace for the second time in 3 weeks. Rapids lead 2-0. It's an excellent run, and it's Anthony Garcia finishing cleanly. What a performance. Garcia with his 6th goal on that one. And Eric Boucher said when he is confident, he is a beast. And nothing but confidence oozing right now from the 19-year-old from Honduras, who spent the last season with Motagua in Honduras. Well, this is the 3rd time this year that North Texas has conceded multiple goals in a match. Houston had 2 on April 28th. Austin had 3 on June 22nd. On both of those occasions, they would be draws and penalty shootout wins for North Texas. But with a quarter hour remaining in this one, a 2-0 deficit for North Texas in this matchup. And I believe that this is the first time, yes indeed, first time this season that North Texas is trailed by multiple goals in a match. And it's the longest stretch in which they've trailed in a match this year. It was 60 minutes plus 7 against the Town on April 6th and a 1-1 draw that they trailed in that one before getting the equalizer 90 plus 7 of that contest. Today, a 6th-minute goal and a 74th minute goal from Anthony Garcia. A brace for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. And now can North Texas, unbeaten in their last 7, find any kind of response here down the stretch? Ondeka gives it away. Here's more space and time, and Garcia looks like he might have pulled a hamstring. He's down. You could see him try to accelerate into space. Colodi had come out, and Garcia, that is not what you want to see at all from a man that has been in just magnificent form. Here it is again. Take a look at Garcia. Turned on the turbo on that left leg. Just lets him down ultimately. After such a quality campaign last season, Colorado has only won 1 match this season by multiple goals. That was June 23rd, 3-1 at Houston. Can they put a 2-match losing streak in the rear view and pick up a win here at home before they head on the road in 12 days against Minnesota? Garcia will be helped to the sideline. What a performance it was for him. Tip your cap to the Honduran. North Texas is set to make a couple more changes. Malachi Molina and Lataro Taboada coming in. So 2 changes for North Texas. They replace Anthony Ramirez and Amat Korka. Both sides being generous with their changes. 5 subs now for each side in this game. Two-0, Colorado leads. Speaking with Eric Boucher this week, he said, we're inching forward. There have been good moments from this team. There have been areas to build upon. They've been punished when they make mistakes, and he said that should happen in this league. It's good enough to be able to see those situations occur. But inching forward is not going to make us relevant. We need to take a leap. And they could certainly ring the bell here tonight. Baran runs into trouble. Pondeka comes back to get it. Spins out Westergrain, and it's taken away. Diaz. Now Amadou on the pivot, holds on to possession. 80th minute of play, 10 more minutes to go. With the Rapids looking for a win over the league's best, North Texas, and handling this side. It's been a prosperous night for Rapids 2 all evening. Cutting to the inside, now shifting back, Endley. And now Gordon. All the way around to the right-hand side, Zane. Kicks out Endley. Taboada loses possession and gives it away. Long throw up the field. Well, 2 sides in very unfamiliar spots. How does Colorado finish this one off? Conversely, how does North Texas respond to being in positions like this? Coaches will talk. You never necessarily want to be in a losing spot. You don't want to be down like this. It's not something you want to make a habit of. But there are going to be times throughout any season where you find yourselves on the wrong side of the scoreline. How does your group respond to that level of adversity? This cross goes all the way in. Baran had it for a moment. Comes back out to midfield. Humphrey. Endley sprints into the middle. Wanted it back. Eventually does get there. A little bit of a tug. Balouz shuffles it out. Zane. Humphrey. Pondeka. A lot of congestion in the middle of the park. Zane gets an edge for a moment. Ricochets it off of a defender. Baran. Bodies collide. It's a shanked pass by Strelnauer. Flores goes down. Zane gets it to the middle, and it is a foul in the end. And Flores very frustrated that there wasn't a call prior to that. Here it is again. Flores, 20 years of age from Denver. Thought there should have been a foul prior to that, but eventually was the guilty party. So Tomas Pondeca lines this one up here in the 84th minute. Colorado 2, North Texas 0. If there's a lifeline of any kind, it would come here for North Texas. Brad Jensen just issued a yellow card into the Colorado bench for their disagreement to that last sequence. Pondeca shuffles this ball in. Zane in. And off of the head of Belouz. Zane takes it quickly. 6 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Another throw. Endely heaves it in. Diving effort from Bandere. Rapids have not had a shutout all season. Is tonight the night that that happens? Bandere looking to watch this one all the way through. Rapids have given up 35 goals this year. 12 times out of their 16 matches, they've given up multiple goals. Is tonight the jump start to this middle of the season to put themselves into a position in the Western Conference? A long road ahead until the season finale at home against Portland on October 6th. But is tonight's result a sign of things to come for Colorado, the Western Conference finalists from a year ago? It's a good slide tackle, well-timed. Westergrain takes it away. Flores, though, puts an end to that charge. Humphrey. And Nico Gordon. It's a good charge here from Molina. Endely sprints. No foul, just out for a goal kick ultimately. This arguably the best performance of the season for Colorado. On the verge of a full complement of points here tonight. And putting an end to the North Texas 7-match unbeaten string. I've spoken with so many coaches in MLS Next Pro this year, and there's so much discussion on the bullet points of the player pathway of developmental from a skills perspective, finding the talent, diagnosing that talent. How do they build those players and increase their skill set to take that next step within their careers? And while that's certainly valuable, the last part that some people think about at times is the mental side. And Eric Boucher said that 100% of his job is mental. How are we handling things during a simple passing drill? You can't separate the mental side from the physical. And here with 3 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Colorado, a team that has seldom been in a position like this to take 3 points. Eyeing that against a team that has only lost one time all season long. At home this season, just one win. It came on May 19th against Vancouver. It was 3-2. Austin, Huntsville, Carolina, the others with just one home win this year. Carolina, of course, having played just 3. So one of 4 teams with just one home win entering the weekend. And looking to change that tale here tonight. And it has been a supreme performance. 14 shots to 9 overall, 6-2 on target. Expected goals of 2.3 to 0.55. But yet 2 minutes to go to see out this fine effort. Baran all the way through. Balouz pokes it out. Corner kick coming. North Texas to line up their 4th of the match. North Texas goes quick with it. Zane with a right foot bounces it off of one defender. Molina, a chance on the counterattack here. Colodi having to play that sweeper keeper role with Vargas salivating. Here's a turn. No foul. Once again out to midfield. Diaz has Strelnauer. Instead works around Gordon. Just didn't have enough on it to win the race. And Gordon, the team captain, puts an end to it. Yet again, Endley shimmies and shakes past 2. And he gets the foul whistled here in the 90th minute. Colorado 2, North Texas 0. Colorado looking for its 2nd home win of the season. North Texas, 7-match unbeaten string. Fully on the line right now. Baran. Humphrey, former 2nd-round pick of FC Dallas. Here's Zane. Thought about winding it up. Instead, doesn't hit that ball well enough. Pondeka comes away with it to rescue. Pondeka down. There is no penalty. Colorado saying simulation there. Instead, Pondeka down in a heap. 5 minutes of stoppage time here in the 2nd half. Another look at it. It's a good maneuver from Pondeka to get through 2. Yeah, that looked like there was absolutely nothing there. Diaz comes over cleanly to take that ball away. And Ethan Bandray utilizing his timing tactics to take a swig of refreshment. High arcing ball down the middle of the park. Well, both game winners this season from Colorado have been scored by Anthony Garcia. In the opener against St. Louis City, it was an own goal. So Garcia had 2 game winners this year. And we should have known when he scored in the 6th minute and then added another in the 74th that the Rapids just had this thing. And Garcia looking like he'll make it a 3rd game winner on the year. And the team's 4th win of the season. All in for Colorado. This is a really, really good performance for Colorado. And if this team can figure some things out, their eyes in the West, that will have to pay a little bit more attention to this Rapids 2 unit here down the stretch. Thanks so much for tuning in. Michael Watring and our crew watching this one to the finish line here tonight. Zane accelerates. Baran. Westergrain. This is a well-timed pass. Endley runs onto it, and it's headed out of trouble. Corner kick coming, and it'll be the young 17-year-old, Eric Baran, to take this corner. Another defensive challenge here for Colorado. Baran circles, sprints into the 18, throws it right through a dangerous location. It's headed off the line. It was Flores that denies that chance. Second windup into the box. Henry and a kick save. Bandray got his left foot to it to preserve the clean sheet. How about this? A header in. Henry Scott got a piece, and how about Bandray? And here is the other ball. Flores on the back. Two phenomenal stops. And if the Rapids are to get their first clean sheet of the season, it will be well-deserved and well-earned. Seeing this one all the way to the finish line. Bandray first, or second rather, Flores first on two delightful chances. And into the final minute of stoppage time now. Mere seconds to go in this one. Colorado in control. And now a whistle. And a booking. Why not, I guess, at this point. Now the throw comes down the field. Punched high into the air. Colodi cradles. He wants his team to go fast. Colodi unable to connect with Tabora. Maybe one more throw to put this into the books. There's your full-time whistle, and it is a victory tonight for Colorado Rapids. The first clean sheet of the season for the Rapids, and they put an end to a 7-match unbeaten run for North Texas. Colorado wins it 2-0. Delightful performance from Colorado Rapids. Decisive, strong, and perhaps that leap forward that Eric Boucher wanted. Tonight's man of the match, presented by Adidas, is an easy choice. His third game winner of the season, and he had a brace. Anthony Garcia from Colorado Rapids, 2 goals in the match, a 6th-minute starter here tonight. And then Anthony Garcia in the 74th minute, yet again, finding space. This one crisp, scorching the strings. And a 2-0 win tonight for Colorado Rapids at home. Their second home win of the season, and a 2-0 decision tonight against North Texas. That's the final score here tonight for our entire MLS Next broadcast crew. I'm Michael Watchring, where Colorado Rapids takes out North Texas 2-0. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Until next week, good night, everybody.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.